And we're live. What do you have, a visitor out there?
I mean, everybody's trying to visit the Menace, dude.
Are they?
Yeah. But I'm not letting them in. All right. See, because we're in hard times,
I saw you in a little, what were you doing, riding a bike with Lenny?
I wasn't riding a bike.
Or I just said riding a bike. Oh, I guess, yeah, he was riding a bike.
Yeah. I was running, put in the 4 miles, But he wanted to, with everything that's going on, he's trying to keep his fitness levels up.
Okay.
And
can't be mad at that.
Yeah. So I tell you what, riding a bike next to me while I run is better than not doing anything at all.
Oh, 100%. Something we also have to do.
What'd you do today, Stan?
Well, something else we have to do.
What'd you do today?
Shut up for a second. I'm trying to give his son Nick a happy birthday from Menace and The Man.
Hey, Nick Luke Relly, happy birthday. It's his 21st birthday, which is a tough birthday right now.
Oh, my God. Where he should have been out for an adult beverage or two.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, real quick, Nick is he's a good kid. He doesn't really, he never really drank, illegally, being under 21. But being of legal age, he was looking to step out with his buddies and have a few, and he's not able to do that because of the coronavirus.
Bullshit. Real bullshit, this coronavirus.
So, happy birthday.
Happy birthday from Menace and The Man. But yeah, he's a fan. Remember, that was the thing I thought of. We probably would have went out for a drink with him.
Oh, for sure.
Or out to eat or something. Like, that's something we've done with him and good old Lenny. I feel like I haven't seen Lenny in ages.
Like, want to see you.
No, like the days pass by so quick that before you know it, you're like, wait, this is like quarantine day 50.
Is it?
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Oh, they got Craig Jones coming in.
Oh, is that right?
That is correct.
What'd you do today, Stan? You work out?
Nope, not yet. I'm gonna.
Oh.
What's up, guys?
Craig
What's
Jones.
up, big dog?
How are you guys going?
We're doing
good.
What are you on, a phone or a computer?
He's on an iPad, you idiot.
Yeah, if you go long ways, it'll change your video.
Oh, it'll change it? I actually just ended up using the phone, so I should go.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, look at that.
That's better?
Yep.
Go.
So, Craig Jones, welcome to Menace and The Man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
We're joined by, you're Australian, right?
Australian, yeah.
One of the best grapplers in the world. He happens to be Australian.
Dude, Australia is coming up in a big way these days.
Huge.
Between
MMA.
Volkanovski, Craig Jones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got, Robert Whittaker was on a tear as well.
Yeah.
And now, where is Adesanya? Adesanya's New Zealand, right?
Yeah, I think Nigerian born, but moved to New Zealand, Auckland, later on.
Now
does Australia accept him as their own, or like, no, fuck that, you're New Zealand?
I think to the rest of the world, we claim New Zealanders, but there's still a rivalry between the two countries.
Yeah, like worldwide, they're cousins, but locally, it's like, nah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So coming off a huge win versus Vinny Magalhaes, I believe that's how you pronounce it, at Submission Underground. Did he break his leg?
Yeah, so it's kind of fucked up. He's been living and dying by that leg locks don't work sort of moniker he's created, because he had matches with Gary Tonin and Gordon, and he just didn't tap. I believe he ate some damage in all those heel hooks, but just nothing catastrophic. But then when I got him in a heel hook on, Sunday afternoon, it ended up, I don't know what it did to his ankle or his knee, but it ended up fracturing his fibula. So it completely broke his leg in half.
Yeah, like, bro, after the match, like Submission Underground, and you posted like a little video of you guys talking, and he showed how flexible his ankles are. Like, his ankle is ridiculously flexible as is, but like, it was the other way.
Yeah, so it did a full 360, and it did a full 180, and I was looking at it, and I could see his bone sort of protruding through his skin, but it didn't break the skin. But he said he didn't feel anything.
I think that's the machismo. He was just like, nah, I'm good. He was like standing on it. I was like, how the fuck is he standing right now?
Yeah, I don't know. He's crazy, man. He said he goes, I usually take pops in the gym, and he's like, it doesn't usually hurt. So like when I actually put him in 2 heel hooks, both on the same leg. The first one sounded like a gunshot going off, and he didn't even flinch. And then we kept going, and I put him in another one. And this time it was like it did the full 180, looking just horrific. And while I was going for it on him, his ankle's the wrong way around. He's trying to attack me. I was like, this guy's crazy.
He's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it's disgusting, right? And then he slipped out of that, and then we had like a brief discussion. I was like, bro, are you sure you want to go on? He's like, yeah, it's already fucked. But then we ended up stopping anyway. I think it started to sink in.
Yikes.
I like that though. He's like, yeah, it's already fucked. And yeah, like you guys were talking, that's like the internet's wondering right now, what were you guys saying back and forth? I saw a couple people write like, man, I wish they were mic'd up so we would know what they were saying.
Oh yeah, I think usually we would have heard it, but we got the strange setup due to the quarantine. But I just kept asking him. After the first heel hook, I was like, damn man, you're a savage, because I knew it broke, but I don't think he completely knew. And then after the second one, I was like, dude, it's really bad. Like I was like thinking, I don't know if this guy is not aware of how bad.
I have no problem taking it off. Just I'm letting you know that. Like I will take it. It's up to you. You have a chance to back out now.
Yeah, I was like, are you sure you want to do this? Because I did 2 on that ankle. If he had said he wanted to continue, I was planning to go for the other one. So I was like,
yeah, I thought it was a verbal tap, the way that you like let go and like went like that. I was like, oh, he verbally tapped, and then he was like, no, we'll keep doing this. And then you said something like, you must have been like, yo, it's fucking broken. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, bro, it's really bad. And then he goes to the referee. He's like, dude, how long? Because it's only a 5-minute match. He's like, how long until overtime? And I was thinking, this guy's crazy. He wants to go to the overtime rounds where you start in an armbar or back. But actually afterwards, he told me he just wanted to last the regulation period and then skip out of the overtime. But I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe how calm he was with a broken leg.
Now, have you ever, I'd imagine you're very good at the leg locks. You fucked up some ankles in your time.
Yeah. I mean, this one's probably, to be honest, not even the worst one. Probably the worst one I ever did was a knee bar. We had a tournament called Iaquinta, and there was a bunch of Lithuanian Sambo guys. And it was like Sambo versus Jiu-Jitsu. And this was just not even a professional athlete. I think he was trying to be an MMA fighter, but he came in and he just, because it was sort of like a last man standing. It was like if you submit your opponent, you keep going, you could potentially run through a whole team. I put this guy in a knee bar, and he just wanted to tough it out. Like he wanted to survive for his team, like some tough Russian kids. And that one went completely the wrong direction. That almost looked like, I don't know, like something would happen in a car crash. But for the most part, if I do get the heel in competition, usually there's like a minor injury, but usually dudes don't let it go that far.
At this point, people know who you are. They know what's up.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be really important. Like I feel like if it's like ADCC World Championships or something, and you're up on points, you might eat it. But I mean, I'd probably eat a popped ankle or a popped knee, but a broken leg is something else.
Oof.
Have you been on the other end of that spectrum, like that bad?
Not yet, but I'm sure that day's coming.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll ask a few more like kind of like competition questions, mentality stuff, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. We're a different show over here, you know. We like to fuck around, and usually, you know, Stan's like 6 beers deep and fucking high, you know. So because I don't really follow jiu-jitsu like crazy, you know what I mean? I'm into it. Obviously I had to for MMA, and you become a fucking huge name over like in my eyes. I mean, again, I don't follow you. I'm sure you've been on the top for a while, but like I've been seeing you a lot over the last like 6 months, maybe a year, you know.
We're talking to one of the best right now.
Yeah. What's like the mindset when you go in there? Is it like like I can't lose, or is there do you put a lot of pressure on yourself, or just fucking go in there and have fun? What's the
it's difficult, I guess, because there's so many different rule sets. So like sort of the confidence will match the particular rule set I'm in. Like for me, I'm more along the lines of like a submission guy, whereas there are other guys out there that are more like points guys. So it's like if I'm in a points tournament, I probably find that a lot more stressful because if a guy can pick up 2 points and then try to ride the clock down. I much prefer like the way like Chael does it, where it's a 5-minute no points period, and then you basically have to start in bad positions, which can be kind of scary because it's like a guy can start on your back where he hasn't earned the position, or a guy can start on your arm where he hasn't earned the armbar position to sort of decide a winner.
I like that, though, the EBI rules, just so there's a clear winner instead of this sub or draw.
Yeah. It forces jiu-jitsu to decide who's the real winner, you know, because like it's like someone could shoot a takedown and then ride the clock for 10 minutes. But I guess like if you're stuck if a guy's got your back and you get to take his back, and whoever gets out quicker or finishes, it's just who's the better finisher, really.
Yeah. After this quarantine's over, I'm looking to maybe dabble back into competition, do a little jiu-jitsu. So I feel like I'm probably going to be more of a points guy.
Yep.
I think you'd be an overtime guy, Menace. You're probably going to...
Yeah. Like, just outwork them, get some points, be strong, hang on tight.
It's it can be tough with Chael Sonnen's rule set to sort of outwork him, because it's like you only got 5 minutes, and then each overtime round's only 2 minutes. So it's like it's hard to really grind someone out in such like a short period of time.
You just gotta go for it. Get after it and go for it.
Yeah, but basically you just basically really got to be good conditioning for those overtime rounds, because it's like
that's what I was gonna say.
Holding on.
A good game plan was Austin Vanderford versus the Boogeyman. He kind of like competitive. Well, competitive.
That was impressive, yeah.
Very impressive. Competitive regulation, and then it was as if he game planned for that overtime, so he was just going to get the riding time, and then he just went for that head and arm choke, and I was shocked. The Boogeyman's as good as it gets on the ground.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially because, like, Boogeyman's a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu guy, and they developed that rule set, the EBI overtime rule set. And I know those gyms, those guys train maybe 50% of their training just doing the overtimes. So for Austin to come in as an MMA guy and be able to take him out, it was pretty, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And they started doing odds on these grappling matches, so he was a 3-1 underdog in that.
Yeah. I mean, before that match, I remember saying to one of the other 10th Planet guys there, I was like, I'd probably bet the house on Boogeyman here, because Boogie had just beaten Jake Shields, and Jake Shields had beaten Austin Vanderford in the same rule set. But it was a very close match, Austin and Jake Shields.
I think Austin's one of those guys. He's pretty, like, people underrate him, I guess, because he's married to Paige Van Zandt, but he's a killer.
Yeah, he's a beast, man.
Grappling
super
and
athletic.
MMA. Yeah. Like Dennis asked me how he won, and I was like, head and arm triangle. He was like, oh, did he just Hulk it? I was like, pretty much, yeah. Like he just.
Yeah, from half guard. That was crazy.
I don't give a fuck.
So
it's still
tight.
badass.
Yeah, Boogeyman probably thought my head's about to fucking explode or my jaw's going to break or something, because that was a fucking squeeze.
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, that squeeze was so strong, right? Sometimes when you get choked, you don't go out, but it's sort of, you're a bit cloudy afterwards. So I don't know if they caught it on camera, but as Boogeyman tried to walk out of the cage, he missed the step and stepped in between the steps, exiting the cage, and almost broke his leg. Like, exiting. He was still out of it.
I heard that commotion, but they didn't show that on camera. Yeah, you heard him fall, but they didn't show it.
Oh, it was vicious. Maybe they don't have it on camera anywhere, but I thought he broke his leg exiting.
So you're like Chael's guy right now. His show is kind of built around trying to bring people in to take you out, or at least hang with you.
Yeah, pretty much. That's sort of the agreement we came upon. He's just trying to find some sort of big names, some exciting grapplers and stuff to throw down. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of traditional jiu-jitsu guys don't like that rule set, that no points, EBI overtime. So sometimes it can be tough to get particular opponents. But what's funny is right now during quarantine, Chael's the only show running, only show paying anyone. So all those guys that typically wouldn't want to do it are hitting him up and doing social media call outs like nonstop.
Need a couple $.
Yeah.
When did you start doing jiu-jitsu?
Shit, probably like 12, 13 years ago, way back in Australia.
Man.
And now you're still young, too. How old are you?
28.
Yeah. You drink protein?
Do I drink protein? I don't, actually. I probably should. I'm pretty lazy.
Don't?
No. What are you drinking there?
A little soft fleet. I went to I did a overseas like thing for the troops. and I met this like Navy SEAL guy. He's not Navy SEAL, but he's like fucking special ops, SOF, special operations forces. And like his side thing is like it's called Soft Fleet, and they do like proteins, they do like different workouts, fucking gear. It's pretty dope. And like I met him, and he just kind of like picked me up on his little roster, sends me protein and shit like that. I'm like, man, all right, I'm with this. And he's badass. Nice.
Yeah, those guys work out hard. Those military guys, hey.
Yeah, they're like, I just do steroids and fucking work out.
The TRT soldiers.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, listen, the top guys defending fucking my country and shit, my well-being. Yeah, I want you fucking juiced to the gills. I want you goddamn be a fucking robot.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. I'll give him everything.
Yeah. So you have a girlfriend and shit, right?
What's that?
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah. Actually, I'm married. It helps me.
Oh, you're married?
I'm a married man. Yeah, we sort of sped up the process to get into the U.S.
Oh, hypothetically, that might be illegal. Might be illegal.
No, real marriage. You know what I mean? But real relationship. But sped up. It's hard to get into this country.
Because I see you sometimes in Renzo's, right?
Yep.
But are you in California most of the time, or?
No, so probably 2-3 months ago, I made the move full time to Renzo's. So I'm out here in New York training with like Gordon and Nicky Ryan and stuff. Obviously,
so you know my buddy KC, Kyle Seminara.
Yes, the wrestler, right? He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Actually, we did some training together recently in Miami. The guy that runs ADCC organized a big training camp and brought Kyle in as one of the wrestling instructors. So I got to train with him a bunch. It was awesome.
The one Cejudo was at too, right?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah. That was a room full of studs. Steve Mocco, Cejudo, Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, Mocco,
Craig
man.
Jones.
That guy's a scary guy. He comes in looking like a homeless man and just beats the shit out of all of us.
He's a bear. He's a bear. And he's one of those guys too who I'm pretty sure he trained under Laborio, and he had always good jiu-jitsu instruction for a heavyweight, so he's got some skills on top of being a world-class wrestler. I'm pretty sure, wasn't he was an Olympian Menace?
I think so.
Yeah, and
he was national champion, but like his thing was he was just fucking mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, are there jiu-jitsu guys out there like, dude, like that guy's an asshole?
Yeah, probably. I don't think so. I mean, obviously, Palhara is probably that guy, but like Wagner Hosha is that guy that's a grappling match, but he's like,
wants to hurt you.
Yeah, he's throwing neckties super hard, slapping you around the head and stuff. He's sort of known for that.
Well, he does the combat jiu-jitsu too, right?
Wagner does, yeah. But every match with Wagner sort of turns into combat jiu-jitsu a little bit.
Yeah.
He actually just called me out today, so I think
everyone's calling you out.
Potentially might be the next Submission Underground match.
What about Lovato?
Lovato, I don't think the Lovato's going to go through. I think he said he wants a bit more time with the quarantine. Can't really train.
Oh, because he was hitting Chael up, saying, "I want that smoke," and then Chael was like, "We're going to get you that. We got that for you."
That would be a cool match. I think potentially a bit further down, later in the year, maybe when you can get a full camp in. That'd be awesome.
So, is anyone? You could answer it. You don't have to. Is anyone tapping you out at Renzo's?
Yeah. Sadly, Gordon Ryan beats the shit out of me every day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what the best grapplers in the world are either Craig Jones, Gordon Ryan. Gordon has size on you though, right?
A little bit, yeah. Not as much as you'd hope with the beatdowns he's given me.
And then a little bit smaller. It's like with Rafa Mendez, who doesn't really do it no more. Cobrinha. But
yeah, or Roger Gracie back in the day. He was probably considered number one. Marcelo Garcia.
Yeah, but Hodger's a big boy. So he's like, it's almost like you got to separate it into two weight classes, like the old school UFC days, like under 175 and over 175.
Well, that's what they do for the absolutes, right? It's like the smallest to like the middle and middle up to the heavyweight, no?
Some tournaments do that. ADCC just do just a regular absolute, so any divisions could enter it. But I don't think ever a 66 kilo guy's ever jumped in. 77 is usually the smallest.
Yeah, Gordon's a big boy. He'd be a tough matchup for anybody, size-wise, because he's long, he's jacked as fuck, and he goes for angles.
Yeah, super jacked. And we got like Nicky Ryan as well. This guy's like probably 245 right now. Super quick, athletic guy. A nightmare.
Now, Nicky Rod was your teammate in that last Submission Underground, right?
That's it. Yeah. We did the tag team match, and actually, I didn't even end up competing.
I was just gonna say, you became meme famous with that reach out.
Yeah. I was actually really sick. I was sick for about 2 weeks, and I was doing some seminar tour around the U.S. So I don't know at the time. Maybe I had the corona, maybe I didn't. But I remember being so sick. I was like, I'll show up to the cage, but Nicky Rod, you got to do everything.
Oh, so that was the strategy. I just thought Nicky Rod just didn't tag you in.
No, it messed up, right? So it was like just the tag team format just needed the rules to change a little bit. Like the idea was that the two guys wrestle in the middle and you try and drag the guy to your corner to tag your partner, and then you double team him, right? But Vinny sort of negated that by running to his own corner and sitting down. And the plan for those guys was to wait for the overtime. So it sort of just made for one of the most boring matches ever.
Vinny too. You got to throw in there. Vinny's a stud.
I'm thinking me and Craig become a tag team, partners, and I'll be like, I can't reach. Craig, reach out, man. We won.
Gotta cool out.
I did. I tried my best. Couldn't reach my hand.
Bro, that could be an interesting matchup. Get another jiu-jitsu guy and another MMA guy, and Craig Jones and Menace.
Yeah. I like
That'd be a fun way to do it, actually. Yeah, jiu-jitsu guy and an MMA guy jumping in together.
Yeah. We got some ideas for you, Chael. Because I'm sure, because Menace, Ryan Parsons, who does the Submission Underground with Chael.
Yep, yeah.
That's Menace's guy. He was Menace's manager for years, and so Menace, that's where Menace is going once he starts training again. He'll probably do a Submission Underground.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, nice. Who do you want, Dennis? Who are you looking for?
Who do I want? Frank. The one that'd be interesting, maybe like Frankie Edgar or something like that. I don't know.
That'd be cool, yeah.
We're trying to bring names in it, right? And he's like, we would have, if we did one in New York, we wanted to bring him far,
That'd be a fun match.
Because I actually, back in the day when I used to go to Henzo's, he would be there too. We'd get some rounds in and shit,
Oh, nice. Yeah, Iaquinta, he did a match with Mike Perry at one recently as well.
Yeah.
Are they throwing smoke at each other
now?
Yeah. Yeah, because Mike Perry was he showed up to the weigh-in smoking a cigarette for that one.
Was it a cigarette or a joint?
It was a cigarette. I thought it was going to be Nate Diaz style, but it was legit a cigarette.
Yeah, and then Iaquinta was like, I'm not fucking dealing with this, like someone blowing cigarette smoke in my face. And Iaquinta walked off from the face-off. And then the match, you thought it would be a little more tension. The match was actually friendly. They touched hands and whatnot. Perry wound up winning the EBI rules, like the riding time, the overtime. But actually, they kind of fucked Al. Like Al was
they messed it up big time.
Yeah, Al still had his back and was almost like going for a twister, and the referee stopped it.
Yeah, so it's still a legitimate submission threat. So the ref should have let it go. But I mean, the referee, he had a bad, like in all the events we've done, usually not too bad, but just something about that night. He had an off night, a few bad calls for him. I felt terrible. The fans were going after him. I was going after him.
Because Al's like, yo, I'll beat the shit. I'll come with the 170. I'll beat the shit out of you.
That's real now. Yeah.
I would actually love to see that fight.
Al posted like, you've already gotten smacked, and then he showed when he had a single leg and Perry was hopping around and he did like the club to finish the takedown.
Yeah.
Because Perry posted like him on Al's back and was like, remember this, Al? I already beat you, blah, blah, blah. And then Al posted the smack video.
All right, let's say that fight happens. Stan, where are you putting your money? Ooh. Who wins that fight?
Obviously, I'm rooting for Al, and I'm going with Al. I think Al is better technically, but the size could come into play. Perry's a big boy.
What do you got, Craig?
That is a really tough one. Hey, Perry is pretty big. Haven't seen them both next to each other. That definitely plays a bigger factor when punches are involved. Grappling get away with the size difference a bit more.
Because what weight did they compete at for jiu-jitsu? What was the weight?
They just do whatever, really, basically.
Oh, they just showed up.
Submission Underground usually is just like, yeah, we'll do whatever. Chael will just trust the guys so they're honest about their weight.
Yeah,
maybe they're both lying about their weight.
Perry was a few pounds heavier. I think Perry was in the 190s. Al was in the 180s. Might have been 10 pounds.
Oh, okay.
But I think Al's a better grappler, and I think Al's a better striker. Perry's
You're going to tell me if that fight goes in the third round, Al doesn't out. I think Al would fucking.
I think Al pieces him up, but I'm saying.
I think he'd have way more of a gas tank.
Yeah. We've never seen Al knocked out, so I'm not saying Perry's going to knock him out. Perry's got big power, so it's an interesting matchup. But I think Al technically fucks him up.
Yo, we got to get Perry on the show. That dude is all over the map.
Yeah.
I need him on the show. I'm gonna send him a message like, yo, man, we need you on the show, smoking a cigarette, shooting the shit. Like drinking a 40.
He'd be down.
Stan will smoke weed and drink 40s with you.
So now you've been at Renzo's for a few months. How you liking that place? How amazing is Renzo?
Renzo, yeah, he's a legend. I actually haven't seen too much of him during the quarantine, really. It's been pretty tough. Obviously pretty tough to train. Taking a bit of heat online for training secretly during this time, but that was mainly because Gordon posted a photo online calling everyone not training a pussy, which brought a bit of heat to us. But I imagine just about everyone's sort of training in secret still right now.
Yeah, but New York is where it's really rough, I guess, because there's so many people per square mile, especially in Manhattan. But other parts of the country, you could train. Like I know they're still training in South Florida. They're still training in Chicago. There's some people still training in California. Arizona, I know like Cejudo had set up a little mini camp.
So hang on. So what's the difference between, Craig and Gordon training? I mean, they're essentially like coworkers, and then me going to work and next to my buddy who I'm with every day, and like we don't have our fucking masks on all the fucking time. Sure, we're not sweating on top of each other, but if viruses can spread as much as it can, what's the fucking, you know what I mean? And the thing is, like, you're busting your ass, so people have fucking something to watch while they're at home jerking off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as the group's pretty small, like, and really coming into too much contact with other people, like, fuck it. I mean, what is it in California? They have the snitch laws. So Boogeyman, he was training for this match, and I think he said he only had a group of 3. He was filming something for his website too, and someone called up the cops on him training at the gym. So when he left, there was a unmarked car that gave him a summons to appear in court.
Yeah, I was telling you about that, Menace. Like some crazy shit.
Yeah, you did.
Like, who does that? Like, who? Yeah. What kind of asshole?
They get paid.
Yeah,
they get paid for it over there. Eh?
That's insane. That's insane.
Maybe it was Austin. Hey, make me win this match if I throw him off.
No, I feel like he's training to Austin a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be funny. Hey, if after he got fined, Austin put up a photo on the phone.
So you've been in jiu-jitsu forever, right? Like growing up, did you get? Because talking to Robert Whitaker, he said he was getting in fist fights all the time growing up. What was it like for you? Like, so we like to ask our guests, give us their famous street fight story, and it could be a lie. You can make one up right now that just sounds awesome if you want.
Make one up.
Hypothetically.
Well, I will say I grew up in the suburbs, so it was a bit probably wasn't as tough. I think Robert Whitaker probably had a lot more fights due to, I think he grew up in Western Sydney, so I think it was a little rougher. But me, I've only ever had one street fight, and that was when I was 18. I just got hit by a guy coming out of bar, and then we threw down for a bit, and then he tried to run away, but in the heat of the moment, I chased him.
Back up. You're jumping a lot of shit here. I need so.
All right, specifics.
Were you partying? Were you boozing?
Oh yeah.
You were
partying. Very fucked up.
Okay.
And there was a guy. Obviously, this other guy. This guy he was fucking meth or something. This guy was shirtless, just fucking bang, hits me coming around the corner, and we just start throwing hands at each other.
Just for no reason.
This guy was completely insane. But I was so angry that he hit me. I ended up chasing him blocks and blocks. I jumped over a fence, ripped my jeans to chase this guy, and it ended up being like
now you're invested.
I was invested, yeah. I chased this guy. He went down a wrong corner. It was like a horror movie, and it was a dead end, and he was trying to get into a door. But then
you're like,
But I just hit him once, and then he started crying. So he was like all over the place. Hey, so sort of
a bully.
That was it. I mean, he started it and he ended up crying, but it wasn't even a violent tussle or anything. Really, we barely got going.
Damn.
Now, have you trained any striking during your career, or just all jiu-jitsu?
When I first started, way back, I was more interested in doing MMA. But at the time, it was illegal in Australia. I think even jiu-jitsu tournaments, there were very few of them when I first started. So it was basically me and my buddies just getting MMA gloves, just trying to knock each other out in the training room after or before jiu-jitsu. So no real formal training, but we would do MMA training in the jiu-jitsu gym.
Okay, yeah. So you've had it. Do you have any brothers?
I have an older brother, yeah. So it was obviously, some fights with him, but yeah, nothing too crazy.
One street fight.
Your older brother does no jiu-jitsu.
No, all right. So me and him would train together, but it was always an unfair advantage because my brother's like 6'8" and I'm only like 6 foot.
Wow.
So a real big brother growing up. And me and me and him, I went in a more serious direction in jiu-jitsu and he went in a more serious direction with partying. So we went out separate ways, but he came back around. He still trains today.
Yeah. Who'd win in a match? Gordon Ryan's younger brother or your older brother?
But yeah, Gordon Ryan's younger brother for sure.
Bro, he's good.
He gives me trouble.
I know. I look at him. I see like what he does. I look at him. I'm like, no, that kid's not beating me. And then I didn't actually see what he did to Uriah Fair, but I saw he beat Uriah Fair. I'm just like, I don't get it. You know?
Well,
he's not intimidating looking.
I've been at the I won't name any names, but I've been at the UFC Performance Institute with Nicky Ryan, and obviously some of the fighters there that were doing the grappling with him had no idea who he was, and they were getting very, very angry.
Oh man,
he's very innocent looking, and then he's probably popping your fucking ankle. You're like, fuck this little kid.
I need Nicky Ryan on the show.
He's a hard man to get an interview with. This Nicky Ryan, all he does is play Fortnite and go to the gym.
That's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to talk about.
So here's what I'll do. Here's what I'm gonna do is what do you know what system he's on?
I'm not sure. I can find out for you.
They got cross-platform now, Menace.
I know that, Stan.
So what's the question? Why are you asking what system he plays on?
Just because I want to fucking know. All right.
Are you
gonna see what kind of person he is? Like, is he like
I was
really
gonna say
he's on a PC, or is he like a loser like me on like a console?
I was gonna say you're gonna judge him off of what system he plays.
Yeah. But what I think what the move is we squad up and we just shoot the shit like that. We're playing the game and we're talking about fucking people up and shit.
That's a good way to do it. That's the way to get through to him.
Thank you.
Now, in your spare time, are you playing any video games?
No, I used to be like addicted to those things when I was younger. So I came close to buying one for this quarantine because I was worried that maybe I wasn't going to be able to train. But then I stayed strong. I stayed strong thinking I would be more productive with my time without it. But I've done nothing productive at all with quarantine other than watch TV.
I mean, I don't mean to be devil's advocate, but if you do, boy, we get squad up, kill a bunch of people. Hey, have a good time, or get fucking really angry together.
That does sound like fun.
Dude, I remember when I got PS3 and I got introduced to this like playing online shit, and I'm playing with like my younger brother, like another professional like MMA fighter, like a fucking a Marine and like 2 Division I wrestlers, and we get beat and they be talking shit. I'm like, yeah, like I just didn't get it. I'm like, you know who I am? Like, where do you live? And they're like, yeah, they're like laughing. I'm like, I'll fuck you up. You like our squad will kill you. Like, yeah, okay. I'm like, ah! I was like losing it. Now I get it, When I first got into video games, like I would drop my lady off at the club, pick up a sixer, come home like on a Friday night and be like, oh yeah. Yo, behind your back. Like, man.
Menace takes his gaming very serious.
Very serious.
I try not to because I get, angry.
Not as serious as our boy Chris Wade, but very serious.
Yeah. People are making money. Like, Craig, like you have kids. You see what these gamers are making these days?
It's crazy how much money they make. Yeah.
You know, and like you bust your ass every day, sweating, going like you're the best of the best, and there's people out there like, yeah, got him 6. Okay, yeah, triple kill, and like here's your $1 million check. Like, what the fuck? I'm in this debate. Like, do I let my kids like crush video games or like get outside and start doing push-ups and shit?
It's a better career path. Video games.
It's better on your body, right? As long as you don't get fat, though.
That's true.
Yeah, you get diabetes and shit, you know.
Yeah, like O'Malley's making money playing video games. Demetrius Johnson. I hear Demetrius makes a killing playing video games. And then you look at like the FaZe Clan and people like that. Or everyone sponsored by GFuel. They make money playing video games.
Whitaker plays a lot of video games too, right?
Whitaker, I'm pretty sure, makes money playing video games. But Whitaker does what Menace was saying. I think Whitaker plays games sometimes and turns it into like an interview.
Oh, right.
Yeah, or he'll interview people while he's playing video games.
Or maybe he does interviews while playing video games.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I tell you what, if you want to interview me and I don't fucking really want to talk to you, like, yeah. Like, I can play my game. I think I can talk, you know. Whoa, hang on. We got a squad, and I'd be fuck off.
We're gonna work that out one day. We'll have like Wonder
Greg,
Boy.
What do you do with your free time? Or it's like jiu-jitsu, diet, chill.
Well, he said TV. What does he watch?
Basically TV. I mean, this is the first apartment I've had. I've been living full time on the road for probably the last 2.5 years. So just basically watching Netflix on there. Now I've got this apartment in New York. So really, more of the same, really. Just bullshit on Netflix, documentaries. Everyone was watching fucking Tiger King.
What do you think about Tiger King?
I was captivated, but I do say this. I appreciate it more as a non-American than an American. You know what I mean? I'm laughing from the outside.
Like you guys are idiots.
Like, these fucking Americans.
Sounds about right, yeah.
We have the same. We have the Australian version of that. That's some fucking Crocodile Dundee shit, really.
All right.
We've had Jesse.
That's a great movie.
No, remember we had Jessie Jess on the show. You know her, Jessica Rose Clark.
Yeah.
She said Crocodile Dundee is a inauthentic piece of shit.
Inauthentic piece of shit. I mean, yeah, it's exaggerated, right?
It's Americanized Australian.
Yeah, the guy who played it, Paul Hogan, he ended up bailing out of Australia and moved to America. He got in trouble. He made so much money off tourism for Australia with Crocodile Dundee, he just refused to pay taxes in Australia. He's like, I've done enough for your country.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So now you've been on the road. Where have you been? Everywhere?
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time between Australia, the US, and the UK, just super fights, seminars, training camps, just the rinse and repeat the whole time. But just got no real break, I guess, because like jiu-jitsu guys don't really. We could compete every weekend, you know?
Yeah.
It's died down in the news, but how is Australia doing with the wildfires? The wildfires are done, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, those have completely stopped. I think I just have to let it all grow back, and hopefully the animal populations come back as well.
Yeah, because that's always on that meme of how crazy 2020's been. Australia burned, coronavirus, Kobe died.
It's ridiculous this year, right?
Yeah. And now you're in Manhattan, so what's that like right now? Is it a ghost town? Are people outside? Are you walking around with the mask?
Yeah, we have to wear the masks basically full time, or we can get a fine now. You need the mask for the grocery stores. But yeah, it's a ghost town. It was pretty dicey those first, I think the first 2 weeks of the shutdown, because the streets were empty. Even the cops weren't coming out for those 2 weeks, and it was like just homeless people. And it was pretty dicey because it's like no one's giving them the donations and shit they usually are. So these guys, it was getting wild on the streets.
Yeah. And that's something the news almost, I would say, we got to get our one friend on who's a cop, a captain in the NYPD. They were saying how a lot of cops were calling in sick and whatnot. And the news at first like reported that. And the police were like, why the fuck would you report that? Now that people know that we're not out on the streets and they're going to start fucking committing crimes and shit.
Yeah, they really were not there. I got this app that tells you what fucking crazy shit's going on, Citizen or whatever. And I remember when those cops went out, it was like armed robbery, like mugging, like it was like nonstop. And now, I mean, you walk around still, the cops have got more of a presence, but it's just like guys in like hats, sunglasses, masks. You know what I mean? It's kind of kind of dodgy.
Yeah, it sucks.
My brother sent me a meme, and it was like some guy going into it, like it was like, "Sir, I can't serve you without a mask." And he's like, "If I come back with I ain't paying for if I come back with a mask, I ain't paying for shit."
Don't you feel like this will be life as normal now? The mask will just stay.
That's what it's in.
Asia's been doing it forever. No, I feel.
They committed to it after the first viruses.
In Manhattan, because there's so many people per square mile, I think that's going to be the new normal in Manhattan.
That'll be weird, right?
Yeah, we're on Long Island,
so no concerts and shit like that till like 2021 or 2022 or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Because we're like 45 minutes from the city. It'll be a little different out here, but where you are, it's way too many people.
Yeah, that's true.
What kind of music you into, Craig?
What am I into, man? I listen to a lot of like classic rock and shit. Just put on a classic rock playlist.
Like AC/DC?
AC/DC, yeah. Both Bon Scott and the British Replacement, yeah.
Okay. Like that's like while you're warming up, do you listen to music and shit, or?
You know what? I stopped doing it completely. These days, when I don't even really warm up. I just go out there, just talk some shit with the guys. Yeah. I feel like if I try to amp myself up too much, I get like, I don't know, I just get a bit more nervous for it. I like to just relax, pretend it's not going to happen, and then just walk straight out.
Yeah, I like that. Some of my best like performances, like not like when I go in the gym. Before I ever compete, I'd warm up dumb hard. But if you try to spar, I'd just be like, I don't feel like fucking doing this. I do like one of these, like, all right, fuck, let's do it. I'd fuck people up. It was weird. I'm like, I should just do this before I spar or fight.
Yeah, that's funny. Being relaxed out there is such an advantage, hey.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on it. Some people like to sleep in the locker room before the fight. Some people like to pace and do that. Like, you ever see like guys in MMA, they'll do like a simulated fight before the fight. They'll do like 3-4 rounds on the pads before they go out.
Oh wow. Must be hard to work out what works for you, you know?
Yeah. Did you do any other sports growing up?
I played a little bit of basketball, played some Australian rules football, but that's it really. Got into jiu-jitsu pretty young.
So you played Australian rules football's rugby, right?
So the northern states is rugby, and the southern states would be like Australian rules football.
Okay. And what's the difference between the two?
It's kind of hard to describe. So Australian rules football would be like, there'd be like 4 goalposts. You can run with the ball. You can bounce it on the ground. You can kick it to each other, catch it. You score a goal through the middle post would be like 6 points. The outside would be 1 point.
And there's positions for that, obviously, or like kind of.
Yeah. Everyone's got their designated position, but the game never really stops like rugby or I guess like NFL or something. The game's just a continuous thing. It would only stop if a goal was scored. The same guys are out the whole time, every time.
Damn.
So obviously there's a lot of.
Scorer?
Oh, you still going there?
What's that?
You were like a scorer, or were you a blocker? Right? Is that what like the positions?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I was not very good, so that would just put me wherever. You know what I mean?
Got it.
But you could be at the defensive end or the scoring end. But you could run as long as you got the ball. You could head down either end, really.
Got you.
So there's a lot of people that are like, Craig Jones is my favorite grappler or jiu-jitsu guy. Who are some of Craig Jones's favorites? Like, who'd you watch as you were coming up?
Who do I watch coming up? Marcelo Garcia, Braulio Estima was always a big favorite. I feel like you can tell what time someone started jiu-jitsu by who their favorites are traditionally. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit. Sorry, I'm just getting a call. Just decline it. So for me, I was really into jiu-jitsu around 2009 when Braulio hit a double gold at ADCC. So that was like the guy for me coming up. Similar build and stuff.
Did you train with him at all, Menace? I know he was down at the Black Zillions for a little bit.
Who?
Braulio Estima.
A lot of those Brazilians, have similar names to me. Now,
what about Marcelo? He's right.
Milch. I like to do jiu-jitsu, a black belt.
Now you're right in the city. Marcelo's not far from you. Have you ever trained with him?
I trained with him when I first visited New York in 2014. Went in there and trained, but it was back when I was mostly a gi guy. So I got to roll with Marcelo and stuff back then. But I guess the sport was a bit different, and I had a different focus back then.
Yeah, and you know how there's like the little bit of politics in jiu-jitsu, so it's not like now you're Renzo guy, you can't jump over to the Meow brothers and train with them, and you can't jump over to Marcelo's and train with him, right?
Yeah, definitely not anymore. I guess it's like becomes more real when they actually become your competitors. Like it's one thing to duck around when you're a lower belt, but once you're sort of at the top of the team, to go train with them would be a bit awkward. I mean, in your home city at least.
Is Craig Jones ever opening his own school?
Ooh.
I think one day. I just have no idea where I would want to do it. I've spent so much time traveling and stuff. It's like so many places to choose.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice question, Stan. That was a good one. Well, yeah. I mean, when you after you're done and like you're washed up, if you will. Like what else can Craig Jones do? Like, do you have like a fucking like marketing degree or like you only know jiu-jitsu?
I got a bachelor's degree in psychology, but not enough to practice or anything. But yeah, I'm committed to the jiu-jitsu route. I think I'll definitely have to open a gym one day when the competition ends.
Well,
with that degree,
you're doing okay so far.
Yeah. So with that degree, can you tell like how much of a piece of shit Stan is, or?
You don't need a degree for them.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
We like to make fun of each other here on this show. We have a good time. I'm trying to. I mean, I don't know, man. You just break legs and that's it. I feel you don't play video games. You watch TV. You travel a lot.
Yeah, basically just like.
I'd like to talk to you about girls and shit like down the road, but you're married and I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, basically pretty boring lifestyle right now. Just focused entirely on jiu-jitsu.
Well, it's not boring, but like
eat, sleep, train, and Netflix.
Yeah, I mean we could be like, oh, so how much time do you spend in the hyperbaric chamber? And do you pump your legs? Do you stretch? What's your diet like? Like, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
So now even like it's tricky with jiu-jitsu, especially this leg lock and shit. So I've heard like John Danaher say like, oh, he said something like it. It's like, why do you like leg locks? He was like, because I want other people to have a fucked up leg like mine.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any remorse once you snap someone's ankle or any thought that goes into it?
No remorse. I mean, sometimes it's like if they like Vinny on the weekend, I was sort of like, man, like I actually like Vinny. He's a pretty cool guy and stuff. So it's like, I just feel bad that he made me do that. It's like, bro, we didn't need to do it. We didn't need to prove that, that it worked. Just feel bad for him, really,
That's like after you break his leg, you're like, why'd you make me do that? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but the thing is, like when I was competing, like you signed the dotted line, you fuck. You knew this had potential that I would kill you. And then even with jiu-jitsu and even MMA, like you have at any point in time be like, enough, I'm good. I've had enough. But you want to stay in there. So listen, I'm a killer. That's what I do.
Yeah, like I'm more than happy to do it in the moment. It's like, but if you apply a submission to someone and they're like, and they don't tap and they make you break it, then I always think to myself like either they didn't think my technique was good enough to break it, or they didn't think I was going to break it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the thought process when they know they're fucked? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what's crazy about the leg locks too. Is I forget who said it, but I'm sure a lot of jiu-jitsu guys have said it. You're not even going to feel the pain, or you're going to feel the pain, and when you feel the pain, it's too late with a leg lock. Yeah,
basically, if you have like the best is to trust that your opponent has good technique because they're so catastrophic. So it's like for me, if someone locks up the grip, once the grip's locked, I'm just going to tap to a leg lock because it'd be like half a second to ACL surgery. You know what I mean? Like catastrophic injuries there.
Yeah, and even that, Vinny was like, nah, my knee's good, my ligaments are good, it just broke the bone. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah, which is super rare. Usually it's usually guys with flexible hips can dodge pressure on the knee and it breaks the ankle. But Vinny's got such flexible hips, knees, and ankles that the weakest link in the chain was the shin bone, the fibula. But I mean, it's happened from time to time. I've seen the outside heels especially break people's tibia as well, and that's the real bad one to break.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like when I would be training and I would apply a submission, it would be 100% right to the point of like they should like to an armbar like they should like my next inch they should tap, and I would like go hard and then stop right there and just ease into it to get the tap. Do you guys train like that when you are like when you're about to break a thing? It was like one more hit's gonna break, like, or it's just wow. You should have tapped sooner when I had my lock.
Yeah. For the most part, we focus on like obviously be pretty careful with training partners and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is really their responsibility to get that tap off. But I'm not going to be ripping anything. Something we do in the gym at Renzo's is whenever we apply an armbar to each other, we won't finish the armbar. We'll give them time to try to hitchhike or escape or try to come up on top to build that defensive response to try and slip out. And if I try to hitchhike and I can't move, then I'll just tap, knowing full well they're not going to break it, and knowing that in competition probably the break's not going to happen until my movement stops.
Right.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's a room full of killers. That blue basement.
Yes, it's especially tough right now because obviously the quarantine's on, so only the top guys are really in there training. Usually get a few more rest rounds.
Silver Fox is still in there, right?
Yeah, man. He's good, dude. He looks so unassuming. So good.
I remember going in there. I'm like, dude, this guy is like 90 years old. Like, I'm going to fucking crush his ass. And I'd be going with him. I'm like clearly stronger than him. And next thing you know, like my arm's like over here. And I didn't like, it's just like, he like makes things wander. Like he'll grab it soft. And you're like, I can just whip it out. But I'm like, not going to use my strength, you know? Next thing you know, my arms, I'm like, oh shit, he's about to fight. Fuck, motherfucker. And then like after he taps me twice, I'm like, all right, now I got to start muscling up on this fucker.
Yeah, it's amazing what he can do, man, because he does not look capable, right?
I feel like that's a room of deceptive killers.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people you look at and be like, I'm about to fucking pretzel this guy up. And then before you know it, he's inverted. He's got your leg and you're like, oh my God, it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some unknown killers in there. The worst guys to go with.
That might be a new thing though now. Like when someone goes for your ankle, it's like, oh shit, he's about to Craig Jones me.
Hopefully. Good marketing.
He's about to Craig Jones me.
Because I used to train with Marco Scavao, and anytime he would as soon as he would get the lock, he would just let go and stand up. And I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't count as a tap. You just touch your hands together and like, no.
Yes. But then the flip side of that coin is, remember that time? You know of Marco Scavao?
I think I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Loro. There was a kid one day, we were doing pro class MMA training, and like the round, Loro was fucking this kid up the whole round. The round ended, and the kid like punched Loro in the back of the head after the round ended. So the whole gym like went to beat this kid up real quick or like get at him. And we were all like, yo. And Loro went, no. Made us all back up. He was like, we go again. And Loro tore this kid's whole fucking knee apart. Like immediately sat guard, whirled for a leg lock, and heel hooked this kid. Popped his knee, popped his ankle. Like, you know.
Sounds very well deserved.
Yeah, you can't. It's as dangerous punching someone in the back of the head. Probably more dangerous with the brain. Your leg will heal a little bit, even though it'll be a little fucked up. But yeah, that's some dangerous shit. Yeah,
that's for sure. That's something funny with MMA fighters that train. MMA fighters are always so terrified of leg locks, and I'm like, how are you scared of getting your leg broke when you're happy to eat concussions? It's just like different look on things, right?
Yeah.
No, when I go to Renzo's, I would go with heel hook Eddie.
Oh yeah, that's a scary
guy.
Right,
so he would first he would hit his main go to heel hook, get it, all right, cool, and then he would start hitting from different spots. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, bro, if we were fucking MMA, I would punch you in the fucking face and break your whole shit. You wouldn't be heel hooking nothing. I wouldn't say it like that, but I'm like, all right, I get it. You can heel hook me. Go for something else.
Yeah, I actually never trained with Eddie because he's not there anymore. But those are the stories I hear, that it would be like if he could heel hook you one time, he's going to do the exact same move 1,000 times.
Hey, you go with what works.
Yeah,
and that's
no
like
mercy.
If it's not broke, don't what's the term? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I'm a white belt, one stripe.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I wouldn't do it. To you. I'd mix it up a bit.
Sandbagger, Craig. He just never trained in the gi, so nobody promoted him.
Nobody promoted. Promote yourself.
Yeah, I'm a white belt, one stripe. I like that. I like beating black belts and being, I'm a white belt. See, look, it's right here.
And then he'll even he shows the tab. Nope, one stripe. See, one stripe. That almost makes it a little more like, oh no, he's trained before in the gi. He's got one stripe.
Yeah, that makes it worse for sure.
Yeah. So now seminar game's off right now too, right?
Yep.
Did you have a whole bunch lined up that you had to cancel and shit?
I canceled a few, but luckily I just finished doing a bit of a tour of the US. So I think I ended up doing like 12 or 13 seminars over a certain amount of weekends. So I was good with having a break off those for a while.
Yeah, they could be a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like such a silly thing to complain about, but it's just like they can be exhausting running through those, having to obviously teach, speak to everyone, and then try and train with everyone in the room. Everyone's trying to kill you.
So two prices I'm gonna throw out there. Let's say somebody wants to do a Craig Jones seminar. They want you to come do a seminar. What's the cost? What's it gonna run them?
What's it cost? I usually try and work out just sort of a fee per person. Yeah, because I used to do a flat rate, but then sometimes you'd show up to a gym, there'd be no one there. Sometimes there'd be 100 people there, so it's like flat rate. Sometimes you get ripped off. So usually I try and do a percentage with a gym. Try and speak to the gym owner. It's hard though, because you go to a new city. Like if I'm traveling around, maybe I go to somewhere in Europe. You want to pick a gym that everyone's welcome at, but sometimes some gyms hate each other so much. Even if they wanted to come to my seminar, if it was at this guy's gym, they're like, "Fuck that, I'm not going." So you got to try and working out the seminars can be kind of difficult to pick the neutral ground. You know what I mean?
Me personally, I just be like, I like flat rate, because if you get two people or whatever, I know what I'm getting paid. That's what it is. Like if there's two people there, like you guys should have did better. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's 1,000 people there, like there's good energy. You could fucking, someone wants Craig Jones to compete. What's your competition rate?
What's the competition? So I'll do it on a sort of a floating scale, right? So if it's like if it's against an opponent that's not going to gain any, it's not going to improve me in the rankings. Basically, it's not going to improve my status in the sport.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking for a lot of money. But if it's someone that I see as like sort of a legend of the sport, someone that's going to get a lot of eyes on the match, then I'll look to do it for a lot less and let them take the lion's share of the pay, because it's sort of the indirect earnings from like DVD sales and just being able to teach bigger seminars and stuff. So I'll really float it depending on the opponent. Because
the Menace and The Man are working on doing our own little,
Oh shit.
Well, how you doing? And maybe have Craig Jones. Well, if you don't compete, we have you just show up and just fucking. You drink beers and shit. What do you smoke?
Sometimes.
Devil's lettuce? What's going on? Do you party?
Not too much anymore. I mean.
Because your schedule's all year long. It's not like you have like, all right, December I could party because.
Yeah, that's why I'm envious MMA fighters. Like they'll get to do a camp, they'll have the fight, they'll have a fucking blowout, and they'll get back to it. But it's like sometimes it's like I compete every month, every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like where you were going with that, Menace, and especially now that Craig Jones is in New York, that's where we were doing it. We were doing it right over the bridge in Queens, and then we eventually want to go to New York, but now this shit's going on. We had an event for April 11th, and the coronavirus killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Shit.
We were going to do amateur MMA fights with some submission underground style matchups, like Aljamain Sterling.
Yep.
We had him. He was going to do, and we had a couple of girls.
He would like this one. We were going to have blonde fighter and that girl Sunny that trains over there.
Yep.
Versus Jessica Penne and
Beck Rawlings.
Oh shit, that'll get some good buzz. Hey,
yeah.
You guys have to rebook that.
Katya, the blonde chick from
The blonde one, yeah, she's fought for the title, right? Oh no,
that's Caitlin.
Yeah.
Kate, we were gonna have Caitlin, and then we're gonna have Katya. Katya's the one who just does jiu-jitsu. One of Danaher's girls.
That's right. Yeah, there's two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we were gonna have her on it. We had a few Renzo guys, and then we had a few of the the Egyptian wrestlers at Renzo's.
I don't know. I don't think I met those guys. Yeah.
There's a group of Egyptian wrestlers that train at Renzo's. We had a few of them that were gonna fight MMA fights, but this fucking coronavirus. But when
do you guys reckon you guys will be able to do it again? Could be a long time. Hey.
Yeah, we were rescheduled.
In the summer, maybe? I don't know.
We had rescheduled for May 30th, but they shut everything down until at least June, so we fall in that window. So maybe July, August, depending on what they do. But then even that, we were talking last episode, when we finally do an event, we're almost going to be like guinea pigs, where we don't even know if people are going to come out for it,
Yeah, that's true. That's the scary part. It's like how scared will people still be when things open back up?
Or Craig Jones, you come. I'll have a custom Craig Jones mask. I'll feed drinks wherever you want. We'll hang out, have a good time. Make fun of people, whatever you want to do.
Yes, that sounds good.
And what we're working on is maybe going big dog status like Uncle Chael and trying to put on a show with no fans for the first one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was talking to Frank about it, Menace. Maybe we'll do something like that just to appease the sponsors and to let the fighters know that we want to be the fighters show.
Okay.
What you guys should do. I mean, Chael hasn't gotten busted yet.
Yeah, we'll get busted.
Yeah, but he's over there in fucking Oregon. Does anyone even know that's there?
Yeah, it's in a random barn.
Or New York is fucking the last for everything, like MMA, anything cool. New York's like, no, stop. No, you can have guns. Don't smoke weed.
Anything. You don't want to wear a mask? Jail or fine. They're not fucking around here. We got a lot of liberals.
At least we don't have the snitch law where you get paid to snitch people around.
Yo, we weren't getting paid for it, but we had the snitch thing. De Blasio, the mayor.
They sent in the dick pictures, right?
Yeah, he was getting dick pits and fucking like SWAT stickers and Nazi shit sent to him.
Stan, that's funny.
You sent him a penis shot, Stan?
I should have. I didn't though. Everyone else handled that.
Nah, you did. Yeah. You showed him your fucking fire crotch.
No. Never. I would never send a dick pic to another dude. Come on.
You're nasty.
No.
Make.
But Craig, you're the man. We'll definitely we'll slide in your DMs and see maybe if we could work something out in the future. Because now, especially that you're in New York. If you were in Australia or another part of the country, we would have flown you in, but that would have brought our budget up a little bit. But now it'll be a little Uber car ride right over. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm keen for it.
And then also we did an episode at Renzo's. We had Renzo and Steve Maraboli.
Yep.
We had them on the show. Maybe when this whole quarantine is done, we're gonna come back into Renzo's and maybe we'll get you live there.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Fucking bro out, Yo, we need to get Danaher on the fucking show.
Yeah, I mean, the only podcast he's done is Rogan, I think, right? But you guys can pull it up,
dude. He's like, if he told me he cut off someone's head, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And then he'd be like, well, what I did was I took the knife, and when I took the knife, I sliced them like this,
Well, my theory is he's the Long Island serial killer.
The Gilgo Beach
killer?
Bro.
Wow. Yeah.
It's either him or my friend Rob. It's either him or Rob Bones, Menace. My bodybuilding friend.
Oh, my God. Danaher blows your boy out of the fucking water.
No, I'm saying who would be the Long Island serial killer? Like Rob has those qualities too.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But want to give him the story? He'll like it.
Oh, which one? There's many ones.
The power tool one.
Oh yeah. So my friend, he sent me a video. He now has recycled that video, and he has I'm an essential worker. And
wow.
He took a sawzall, like a sawzall, like a power tool.
Yeah.
And he put a dildo on the end of it. And then he had a girl over and he was using the power tool, he put on a hard hat, put on like an orange vest, and then he sent me a video like, I'm about to go to work, showed me the power, and then he goes like this and the camera pans out and it's a girl laying there and he's using the power tool on her.
He was like, it could have gone really bad. Had that fallen off, and the blade, like it would have been a mess in here. I would have had a fucking barrier, dude.
Well, he said because
That's a brave girl.
I'm like, how'd you do that?
Right? You probably didn't know.
She had no clue. I'm like, how'd you do
know
that?
There's a real blade underneath there.
I'm like, how'd you do that? And he said, I just slid the blade into the dildo. And then I'm like, bro, you're fucking nuts. He's like, bro, if that thing slipped, I'd be calling you up to help me hide a body instead of sending you this video. And I was like, bro, you're a fucking idiot. But we need to
he might be the guy.
We need to get Danaher on and Gordon Ryan. We've almost had Gordon on before. We played a little phone tag with him. He's good friends with Kyle Serm, but we just haven't landed that plane yet.
Yeah.
But we're big fans of Craig Jones. We appreciate you for coming on the show, and we'll definitely do
thanks
this
for
again.
having me. For sure, guys. Thank you.
All right. Stay safe out there.
All right.
Yeah. And next time, I'll do a shoey for you.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll do a shoey with you guys as well.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I love this. I love this where it's going.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, bro. Catch you later. Stan, do I try to hit up Yves?
Sure. Why? Where'd you leave off with Yves?
That 6-ish, and he just liked it. I'll hit him with a yo.
Yeah,
he doesn't answer.
You just got to get his email. But man, yeah, I'm assuming Justin Gaethje is a little too busy for us today. But
because I'm trying to, like you were telling me, PFL is giving, they canceled the season, right?
Yep.
And they're giving their fighters stipends.
That's what they said that they were going to give.
But they canned over half their roster.
Yeah, like they should have just kept it secret that they were giving stipends, because now it's actually a bad look. Because they basically went like, oh no, we're going to give a stipend to all of our fighters this row down, except for these guys.
Right. Because I know a couple fighters, and I hit them up like, hey man, what's up, and they were just like, I asked them, you getting a stipend? That's pretty cool. Like, no, I thought I was. I'm not. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they're only giving it to they're like the champions in every weight class.
They're only giving it to the guy who just won $1 million, as opposed to the guy who even if we get Yves on, we'll talk to him. But say Yves, Randy Couture, and Sean O'Connell, those three. So if they're not paying those three a stipend, when they use those three's blood equity that they put into fighting to almost sell their brand, that's fucked up.
Well, I hit up Yves. That's why I want to get him on the show. I said, did PFL can you? And he said PFL's canceled this year. So I'm like, I feel like he's.
Why are you dancing around the question?
Yeah. Like, you getting paid or what, dude?
Oof.
But it's tough, let's say you speak out against PFL not giving you the stipend, and they're like, fuck this guy. We're not bringing him back in 2021.
Yeah.
What I mean? So it's a weird.
They'll be like, get me the Russian guy. He's replaced. Get me the Russian guy.
Kind of like, kind of like the UFC did when the thought of what's came out. A union came about. Anybody spoke up, as soon as you lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I get it. It's business. Like, those people run these fight organizations, it's not like they have endless amount of money. They got families to feed. They got a certain lifestyle they live, At the end of the day, they're competitors in their own mind. You know what I mean?
It's a sticky situation because, they're not – you're all independent contractors. You're not an employee. So by law, they actually don't have to do shit for you.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys made over, what's it like? If you make over $150,000, you don't get the relief check they were sending out, right?
Stimulus check. But I would think that the loophole around that, I don't know, I don't think you ever did it. Did you ever set up a business for your fighting career?
I was in the process of setting up an LLC, and they're like, it's $1,000. I'm cheap. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I know.
I have a business account where I just do all my shit through,
I'd imagine that some fighters could apply for a stimulus through that of some kind and say, I'm a business and this is what I do and blah, 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 and I need some type of stimulus check to get me through One of the worst things I saw.
Okay. I got what you're saying. Like a small business loan kind of deal.
Yeah, one of the worst things I saw is like I think it was the guy Luke Thomas. Like fighters were saying, I want to fight to make money. I don't want fucking unemployment or something like that. I don't even think I can qualify for unemployment. And Luke Thomas started posting like, oh no, nobody should be fighting during this time. And then he posted a thing like fighters can file for unemployment. And I just saw people ripping it apart in the comments. Like, why would who the fuck would? Some people would be like, oh no, this is the right thing. Like, this is what they should do. And then fighters were like, bro, I want to fight.
Like I was saying before to Craig, you know what I mean? Like with fighters, right? They have their coworkers, their training partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's that, right? Obviously, fighting you have to get like fucking this close to somebody, you know what I mean? Whereas like at work, like maybe I'm this far away from people sometimes without a mask. I mean, sometimes, or I'm sure like police officers, like when they go in the office, they don't fucking want to keep the mask on and that hat on for fucking 6 hours. And they want to actually breathe for a fucking second. They're talking to the boy who did the same thing, and this everywhere, Yeah,
it sucks. It's ruining the world right now, but we could talk about brighter things. So one thing that I did see was one thing that you could actually relate to, because I saw Daniel Cormier said he could definitely relate to it, and I know for a fact you can, is remember all that time a little while ago when Robert Whittaker pulled out of the Jared Cannonier fight? And people started saying, oh, it's his daughter or one of his kids needed like a bone marrow transplant or something.
Right.
Those were all rumors. And he was like, oh, that's bullshit. Like people just started spreading that. He pulled out because he was burnt out.
I heard that today.
Yeah, I read the story. He said that he did his first interview since that time, and he said he was running. It was a Sunday. It was, I think, Christmas, and he was fucking running up a hill doing his Sunday training, and he just had a moment where he was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is my life right now. All I do is train. I got my kids at home. I want to go spend time with my family and shit. And he said he just stopped mid-workout, went home and fucking hung out with his family, and then pulled out of the fight and then took some time off to I guess find his drive, clear his head. And I know you could relate to that because you pretty much had a similar situation. Granted, it was the split decisions, but you at one point, got burnt out a little bit.
Yeah. But the thing is like, I guess it's hard to say, I'm trying to compare it to like real work, you know what I mean? Like, those detectives out there that are working fucking crazy amounts of overtime that don't get to see their families, but they're also all that overtime, they're making a lot of money to bring home to their family. You know what I mean? So Robert Whittaker is essentially putting in overtime to fight, and all that overtime has put him in the position to fight on the biggest stage to make all that money for his family. Those are kind of similar, I guess. And the reason why I bailed is like, man, I'm putting in all this overtime to make more money, and I'm not making it because fucking someone doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Some of these restaurants are just saying like, you didn't clock in. I didn't see that. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of, if you're translation, you're translating fighting to a real working man, I guess. Does that make any sense? Or am I totally?
No, that's exactly it. Like you were putting in overtime and it wasn't paying off.
Yeah.
And then even for him, I guess you could say he was putting in overtime, but I guess it was just taking its toll on him.
And he didn't want,
Yeah.
I don't know.
He had that moment where he cracked a little bit and was like, I'm fucking done for the time being. And I can understand that. Everyone gets burnt out. And fighting,
sure.
People don't get it. You get it. Fighting is the hardest sport.
Yeah.
Like we talked last week when we had the group chat on how hard wrestling is. Fighting's not that far behind. And wrestling, you get that break. Wrestling's a season. I guess if you're in the Olympics, it's a year-round thing. Yeah. But
even wrestling, there's breaks.
Yeah. MMA is a year-round sport, and then especially for a training camp, it's, I guess, similar to wrestling in the sense that before the match, you'll be like, did I do enough? But a fight is like, I'm about to go get brain damage. Did I do enough? Yeah. And that probably plays a lot of a mental game in your head, a lot of stress and whatnot, so he got burnt out.
I tell you what, though, the very top guys don't think about, like, oh, am I going to get brain damage? Usually, like, a fighter will think about, like, is after a loss and after they fucking are dwelling everything. And, like, when you win, I've never won and be like, man, maybe I should stop doing this because
he's coming off
I might get hurt.
He's coming off a loss, Whitaker.
Oh, right.
He's coming off just losing his title, getting knocked out by Adesanya.
That's right.
So, yeah, he's probably doing that reflection thing in his head, and then he just had that moment where he's like, fuck this. And then the thing I read, or when it got transcribed from him, it said he just stopped mid-training and went home.
Yeah.
Next day,
I get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when I would be training and I'd be away from my boys and stuff like that, I would... Because kind of the way I was raised, my father, he didn't come to a lot of my sporting events and stuff like that. And I kind of get it now. He's putting food on the table and a house over my head and shit like that, you know. I get it a little bit. I'm not saying he did the right thing, you know. But like my boys look back at my career, I want them to be proud of me and like the legacy I tried to put on our names. You know what I mean? Like I would imagine like LeBron James and Kobe and all those guys, like they probably don't see their kids fucking every single day, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Or you know, I don't know.
Yeah, but they're also in that different spectrum too. Like I'm sure LeBron, when he's like, I want to see my kids, he calls up a private jet or private helicopter and gets brought right there. You know?
Yeah, what I mean? That's a little, and like they have money to have like. Because as a parent, it can take a lot out of you having your kids. I remember going to a fight. I'd never brought my kids to any of my fights just because I wanted to be clear-headed and like it's just extra energy to worry about. I remember Steven Seiler, like his wife just had a kid, and I was passing his room. I heard the baby crying during a fight week. I was like, "What? That's insane to me." You know, but like you were saying, these higher people making all this money, like even like Connor, like if you want to bring his kid, like, yeah, like nanny, watch my kid while I go over here and just make sure doesn't bother me. And I want it for fucking a half hour, I'll hold her, you know, and then all right,
take this
back to what I gotta do, you know.
Yeah, money could change things a little bit.
For sure, man.
But even like when we do get the boss on, Dana, that's something I want to say to him too, and that you can relate to right now. Like we talk with Chris Wade. And I forget who else we talked about, how we're in the leather helmet stage. Like, It will get to that NFL point if the sport keeps growing the way it is. And eventually, like the base salary will be a couple $100,000 or $900, whatever it is in the NFL or the NBA or something. It's going to take time, years. Like the NFL wasn't $30 million contracts on year 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
people that are watching the podcast right now or listening or whatever, think of some questions that you want to ask Dana White because we're going to have him on tentatively Monday around 4 p.m. So it's going to be a good show. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to say things. I don't know if he's going to be like, man, this is the best show I've ever been on, or if he's going to be like, dude, you guys are fucking assholes.
One of the best, bro. Like I told you, I watch interviews. So even like Kevin Iole, he'll do an interview with Kevin Iole, and you could tell that they're friends, and that's why he allows it. Like he'll be asked a question, he'll go like this, you know, because Kevin Iole's like, so now they ask the same questions over and over again, then they just word them a little differently to be like, no, I asked it differently, you should answer it. It's like, no, you're asking the same fucking question, you're kind of digging and being a dick. Yeah. You know, like they're like setting up for that bullshit question.
I'm not interviewing Dana White. I'm going to shoot the shit with him.
Yeah, 100%.
What's up, big dog? Big fights come. Hey, we're actually going to, hang on. I want our boy Frank at
Home
Interiors by
Anthony Giramita
to make Dana White a cape.
A cape?
Yes. So okay. We're gonna talk about how not all superheroes wear capes, and here Dana White is throwing on goddamn cards during a coronavirus. We're sending him a cape. What are your thoughts on that?
Love it.
Like, say like UFC and like maybe a little Menace and The Man logo on the bottom.
Or a big D. Like Superman has the big S.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Because
I'm gonna throw it at him. Hey, it's in the works. We're already building it. Just send the address to send it to.
Like, even like, obviously there's a lot of people that would have gripes and they'd be like, oh, we don't make enough money. They don't pay. It'll get there, I think. And I think like, I was talking with Chiesa or Megan Anderson, one of them. We were saying how the sport would be nowhere near where it is if it weren't for Dana. Like, there was a time when UFC fighters made, like back in the day, they would make like $500 to fight, $1,000 to fight, like the old school UFCs. Then it hit that point where it was like 2-2, 4-4, 6-6 was like the pay scale. And the top guys, the main event guys, made like 30, 40,000. Now we're at like obviously a better point where it's the lowest you're making. It's 10-10 at like the
8-8.
I think the minimum's 10-10 right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. After the Contender Series, they made that.
Like, no, I think the Contender Series fight is 8-8.
No, I think it's 10-10 or 5. It might be 5-5 actually. But the Contenders might be 5-5. But it's going up. It's slowly going up.
Yeah.
So that's just going to keep getting it eventually to the NFL, NBA, MLB, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, we'll come up with some good shit for him. And yeah, I have one or two questions. I almost want to give him praise, if you will, and be like, bro, been a fan my whole life to see what you guys did from UFC 30 to UFC 249.
And then another thing too, like, I want to talk to him a little bit about family, right? And then I want to get this goddamn son on the show eventually.
Yeah.
One of them. Hey, what's it like being Dana White's son?
Yeah. His son's a stud.
I think that's a cool.
Isn't his son like a stud athlete too?
I think so. One of them is.
I think one of his sons is like a stud college football player or something.
Or just got accepted or some shit like that. We'll get the bottom line of it.
We'll get into it. We got some good shit for him. And then obviously we can ask him upcoming fight question and whatnot. And then I want to tell him, like, we got to kill it. And then we're going to tell him, like, listen, fuck the other media. You see the questions they ask you. Come here and drop some news on us from now on. Help us help us get these numbers up. I'll put him on the spot and be like, blow Menace up. He used to fight for you. He's bled in your cage. Throw him some fucking bones. And then I'm also going to bring up the Mac Rice fight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, Dana, I got something for you. I got a Hall of Fame worthy fight. I want you to go watch it later tonight.
Man. Can fights be only a fight could be Hall of Fame worthy?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No, fighters and fights, but they started inducting pioneers, actual fighters, and then they have like a fight wing of their Hall of Fame. And they've inducted, the only one that I know off the top of my head is Diego versus Clay Guida.
No, and then there's isn't there Forrest
and Stephan Bonner?
Yeah.
Forrest as well. Have you not heard anything back from Eves?
Nah.
Remember I hit up Forrest too. What did he get back and say?
Yeah, he said he'd come on.
We got to get that cracker on one day.
Also, like, people, again, watching the podcast, suggest who you'd like to see on the show.
I like that.
Thank you. I keep telling Stan he's got to interact with the people more, but he doesn't.
Interact with what people?
Our fans.
I interact with them all the time.
Get out of my face, Stan, before I punch it.
Who, me?
Yeah. It's 7:30. I think it's probably time to get on the sticks, right?
Is it?
What else you got, Buzz?
Well, let me message Sam Alvey, see what he says. I had Sam and Rosa, but they were for later. But then
you want like 9. I ain't fucking hanging out.
No. Sam said he could do earlier. He said he'll make it work. And then Rosa said he was going for a bike ride, and he'll let me know. Both guys got fights next week. And then what's his name said he was down, but I know he's not a texter, Justin Gaethje. Do I get ballsy and throw Justin Gaethje a question mark?
Did you just kick him the fucking link?
Did I kick him the link? No.
Yeah, just do that. Say, hey, link's in your fucking thing.
I don't have his email yet.
Well, the thing is, because old Menace is getting a little hungry.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm getting a little hungry, Stan.
Oh, well, that was another thing, real quick. I'll fill you with that one. Better wrestler. New York State. The Flow Grappling released the New York State D1.
I saw that.
D1 team. Do you have Flow Grappling?
I think they're like on Facebook.
Yeah, but you need to have like an account to see the whole list. I saw the picture.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the picture they put up. Gwiz was on there, so I'm assuming Gwiz is like the heavyweight.
Yep.
And then I didn't see the article, but I heard people talking about the article. I heard Gregor saying, "Oh, thank you for making me this." And then I saw Corey Jansen and Jesse Jansen were like, "What the fuck are you smoking, Flow Grappling? Like 149 is Jesse Jansen's division."
Man.
So that raises that argument, and I started reading some stats a little bit, and it's close.
It's very close. They're both 4-time All-Americans.
No, Jesse is a 3-time.
Oh, Jesse's a 3-time. Oh, that's right. Both a 1-time national champ, right?
1-time national champ, but then you'll understand this. So, like, your All-American status, and CERM kind of related this. CERM was like, I came in 8th, and that made me an All-American, but I was nowhere near, like, the top. So, obviously, like, I would think 1 through 4 are, like, more prestigious.
How much research did you do?
As far as what? On what time? I did a good amount. I saw that, like, so I'd have to.
So what places did each guy take throughout the years?
Jesse has a 1st and 2/3.
Okay, where Gregor is a 1st.
Gregor, I had a 1st, and then I think he had like a 5, a 7, and a 4. Let me just double check it. But then also, are we just?
So the other argument is they're saying that when Gregor was wrestling, the weight classes were more stacked.
Yes, that like the year Gregor won the national championship was like one of the most stacked classes.
Yeah, and Gregor won it as
a true sophomore.
Yes, whereas Jesse won as a senior, I think.
Yes. So those come into play a little bit.
Well, in terms of like Jesse was only going like up, where Gregor like was good, the best, couldn't hold it,
Gregor has a 4th, a 5th, a 7th, and a 1st. But something I went into my discussion in my own head was high school. I don't know how well high school counts or whatnot, but Jansen was like 200 and something and 3 in high school.
And what was Gregor?
Not that. Gregor was. Let's see. But even so Jansen, his 3 losses were when he was in middle school wrestling on the high school team.
Wrestling on varsity.
Yeah, so he didn't lose his whole time in high school. 4 years in high school, he didn't lose a wrestling match. But now you'd know better than I would. How much do you weigh in high school wrestling?
Well, the thing is, because you'll see, I've seen it a ton. Like, you'll see a bunch of, like, state champs go to college and then do fucking nothing. And then you'll get someone like me, not saying I did anything. I didn't even make it to state tournament, but then I was ranked in college. You know what I'm saying? Where, like, some guys be state champs and not even get ranked in college,
Yeah, I'm trying to find Gregor's high school record. I know it was impressive, but I think he had over 10 losses.
But also Jesse went on to wrestle internationally as well.
Yes, Jesse tried to qualify for the Olympics, fell a little bit short, but still. But then even that, like, I know Gregor retired because he thought he couldn't beat Jordan Burroughs, but he might have still done, like if Jordan Burroughs is winning gold, you might have been fucking
3rd, yeah.
Yeah, like you might have been getting the bronze or you might have been something. Maybe even if you bumped up or bumped down.
Yeah. It's tough because they both...
Is it a coin flip? Like there's no definitive answer, it's a coin flip?
It's because they had kind of different styles. Both very explosive takedowns. I think that Jesse had a more dynamic he had a lot more different offense, like for his takedowns, where Gregor had this like you didn't know when he was coming, like pump double leg that he could shoot from fucking 6 feet away. They both were back point guys, but they did it way different ways, you know. So Gregor would go a 2-on-1 wrist tilt, whereas Jesse did the crab ride, which he made famous. Like,
yes, and that's even what people were saying. They were like, his crab ride is probably the best crab ride, like, ever.
Yes, yeah.
Where even I remember you said that you had that moment where you were like, you tried the crab ride, and the guy was like, get the fuck out of here with that, you know?
Well, so in high school, like, I would go on MySpace and, like, see what Jesse Jansen was doing. And it was the same, like, every day, you know? Like, he didn't post a lot on it, you know? But I'd go on, like, what's Jesse Jansen doing? You know, I was a big fanboy, you know? And I would watch his wrestling, and I would, in high school, I would crab ride people all the time, you know? Like, that was my shit, you know? And then in college, you know, it's a whole different caliber. I wasn't that good at it.
But now his crab ride still worked in college.
Yeah.
So it's a coin flip, I guess. And then I think that was part of people's argument, was that Gregor was a 4-timer, where Jesse was a 3-timer. I guess they didn't care about the high school too much. They cared about the college more, because the high school is obviously, people are good, but they're not that same. D1 colleges, these are the best of the best.
Yes. You could also take into, you know, so like, maybe one reason, if Jesse had gone to a different school, maybe he could have been a 4-timer. The reason why I say that is because he went to Harvard. So he had to be, I think he was also on the dean's list.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was just like, I went to college. I was like, I maintained a 2.0 at like a state school. He went to an Ivy League school, was on the dean's list, and was a 3, like,
I've heard.
And he graduated in 4 years.
I've heard that story.
Imagine his plate was a little heavier than Gregor's.
I've heard that being the story too. Like, I know I've mentioned to you Ryan Lang before, and I know you know Ryan Lang.
Yes.
He had that too. He was like, if I would have went to fucking any other school, I would have done a lot better. He's like, I went to Northwestern, where my academic plate load was so fucking difficult that it affected my wrestling.
Yeah. But I tell you what, not only because I know both gentlemen, but just I was big fans of both of them wrestling. That's one match I would have loved to see, like, in their prime. Like, if you could take two people and have them wrestle each other, that would be one of them.
But even that's like a 4-2 finish or something, right? Like someone's winning 4-3. It's a close match.
Probably. Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like that's very debatable right now. And then even I Googled like a hypothetical, and it was an old conversation. It was like on a wrestling chat board right after Gregor had won the national championship, and that's what people were saying.
Then you could also go the route in Gregor's favor. Gregor was a 4-time national champion or 4-time All-American, 1-time national champion, fucked up on drugs. The man was on drugs.
Yeah.
Imagine if he wasn't on drugs.
But
that could go either way.
Yeah, that could go either way. And even that's something I heard. Well, obviously, Gregor, even when he was fucked up, was a tireless worker. Like, had the same work ethic. Like, still worked out and shit like a maniac. No? That came after? Because that's what I heard about.
He would tell me, too. He said, I used to be the biggest piece of shit. Like, second strings would, like, take him down, and he wouldn't even try to get up. He would just let them.
He was a gamer, Gregor.
Yeah.
Like when the lights went on. Because then even that's what I saw about Jesse. They said Jesse was like the consummate professional.
Or like when Gregor was wrestling, he said he would dog every sprint and then win the last one. Or no, he would dog every sprint and then Tim Flynn would be like, all right, whoever wins the next race, the next sprint can sit. So Gregor would fucking and then sit out and be done. And other guys would be so fucking pissed because they're busting their ass for every sprint down and back. And then when it comes time to push the shove, where like if you win, you could be done. Gregor would be like,
yeah, because
he's so funny. We gotta get him back on the show.
What I was reading about Jansen is they said Jansen was like the tireless worker, like never stopped training, never stopped working.
Oh. So that's what they say about him. Like when he was in high school, was like it was like him. He had like 2 other buddies that would just train all the time and just travel as a group of 3 or 4 and just go fucking wreck people in tournaments and just.
Yeah, and then I saw this one thing where you ever see like Rocky IV, where Drago kills Apollo and then Rocky puts the picture on his mirror.
Yeah,
he got pinned. Jansen, and in the paper it said like Jansen pinned, so he hung that picture up on his mirror and said like that's never going to happen again, and then that's when he went on that run of never losing in high school.
Yeah.
And then I'd assume when he graduated high school he crumpled the picture up, or maybe he still has the picture, who knows.
I don't know. I would do shit like that, like hang inspirational shit like in front of the treadmill, like I'm not going to stop, and listen to like the one song I used to run to all the time was In the End by Linkin Park.
Yeah, that was big around that time.
I try so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Because the thing is like, I want to be a state champ, but what a state champ doesn't like guarantee you so much money, or a state champ doesn't like get you a job.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't really matter to be a state champ.
It fills you up in here though, and up here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I would run to that like I just want it. I just like it doesn't give me anything tangible, but I wanted it.
Yeah, Linkin Park was the jam back then. Like, remember in high school wrestling, I don't know if they did it in college, but when I wrestled in high school, how you would come out and and you'd run in the circle as a team. Yeah. That's what our team used to come out to Paper Cuts.
Oh.
By Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And then you run in the circle, then you'd get stance in motion, you start moving around.
Jesse Jansen was 203. What was your record in high school wrestling, Stan?
I was a 500 wrestler.
What was your record? Was the question, Stan?
I was like 14-14.
Oh wow! You only wrestled 1 year?
I wrestled 11th grade, and I separated my shoulder before the season started. Like trying to throw a takedown attempt separated my shoulder, and then the next year, my first year, I was the starter on varsity. So I lost like my first 9 matches. And then I finally something clicked and I realized how to wrestle.
I think I was like 112 and 26 or something like that.
Yeah, you had a good high school record, I remember seeing. But I remember wrestling kids and I would wrestle them and they'd be like, yeah, that kid's going D1, that kid's going to fucking. I wrestled a kid who went to Hart, all D1 kids I'd wrestle because I was in a, Division 1. Our team sucked that year.
Yeah, but the thing is D3 high schools could still go Division 1.
Yeah, but I just had a lot of studs. I would get kids that they'd be like, oh, that kid's going to fucking Harvard. That kid's going to fucking Buffalo, Bloomsburg, all these colleges. And I'd be like, this is my first year wrestling. Is he good? And they'd be like, yeah, that means he's good. I didn't even know what that meant. That kid's going D1. I'd be like, what's that mean? D1 in high school? No, D1 college. He's really fucking good. He's going to fuck you up.
What kind of people are you hanging around, Stan?
What do you mean? In high school?
If I knew one of my teammates was about to get fucked up, I wouldn't be like, hey, that guy over there you're about to wrestle, he's really good. You're probably going to lose. I would never. After they got off the mat, I'd be like, I was going to tell you before the match, but I knew that guy was going to fuck you up.
They wouldn't say you're probably going to lose. They would tell me how good he was. And then I'd go man. And I would always
what would make someone think that was oh, yeah, he's going to learn it.
But you know what I always had in my head? I'd size them up. I'd fuck him up if there were other rules. If this was a fight, I would either choke him out or fuck him up.
He'd still take you down, ride your ass.
No, I had that a few times in practice. I had one time in practice, this one kid was like, show me some jiu-jitsu. I was like, all right, shoot in on me. He shot in on me. I immediately fucking anaconda'd him. Then I had the same kid would always be like, show me jiu-jitsu. I would show him triangles and shit. And then my wrestling coach would be like, stop that jiu-jitsu shit. And he'd hit me with a wiffle ball bat.
I like that.
Yeah, he was an animal, my wrestling coach. He was like an Olympic judge and shit. He was pretty famous in the wrestling community. People know who he is.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So we're undecided on the Jansen-Gregor conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? we're gonna have to get them both on the show and hear their side of the story.
Okay, I like that.
So take a nice little clip of what we spoke, of the question, put it up, we'll put a poll up, and then we'll also hey, both you guys come on the show and let's hear your side of it.
Do you think Jesse could probably still wrestle? I noticed even their ages, they're not that.
Oh my God, yeah.
But he's not probably where Gregor is.
No.
Gregor is 33, I believe, and Jesse's 38.
Yeah.
And we've seen Jesse. Jesse's still in fucking shape.
Hey, I'm if they were to wrestle right now, I would say that Gregor would probably win just because he trains every day and still wrestles and shit like that. But I still think it'd be a very close match.
It'd be competitive still.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure even Jesse probably has those positions that he's good at for life.
Yeah.
Like when he's 55, he's going to crab ride his daughter's boyfriend. I'll show you a thing or two about wrestling, and he's going to fuck him up real quick.
I tell you what, though. Let's, I'm just saying, guys, meet right now, go. Bang. Gregor's going to win. If Jesse started training for it for 2 months, I don't know.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Jesse's bigger than him now. No?
No, he's not. No way.
Muscular-wise, Jesse's jacked.
No.
He's not?
He's jacked, but Jesse's he's a $165.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be interesting.
Maybe 170. I doubt it, though, but he's $165, dude.
Imagine if we could put that on. I mean, he'd probably save it for Beat the Streets. We'd set it up, and then that'd be headlining the next Beat the Streets. We'd be like, yeah, you guys are going to do it for us. Jesse, start training. Then we'll see the posters the next day.
Well, the thing is Jesse actually has, a career.
Yes.
Where he actually works and, where Gregor could just, buckle down and train 6 hours a day every day. I don't know.
All right, we'll give it till 8, and we'll see if these people come on. Give them a few minutes, and then we'll do a quick time. Ooh, I don't like that face.
Yeah, no.
Why not?
Because, Stan.
Either one of them.
Work tomorrow.
So?
I gotta kill people.
What do you got to do?
I gotta eat, and I have to kill people.
Who do you have to kill?
Random people on the internet.
Oh, you're trying to game.
Yeah. I only have a short, these days I only have a short time, attention span.
A short.
Especially now I gotta wait. Wow. You should have did a better job playing, Stan.
I did. I told you to get Craig for 7, and then you told me Craig for 6.
Earlier.
What happened?
He could say you can only do earlier. He was trying to do even earlier than 6.
Oh, how early was he trying to do?
4?
Oof.
Yeah.
And what? You think you'll be able to pull? What time are you usually done with work?
3:15.
What time are you usually back in your house? What time, if we do Dana on Monday, what time would you be in the Menace Cave?
I'd have to come right from work, just get dressed real quick, throw a shirt on, and come down here. Usually I walk in my door 3:38.
Okay.
40.
Okay. So we'll be able to pull
and that's
that
if I'm
off.
just kind of cruising. And just, if I gun it, I could be home at 3:30,
Yeah.
Which is not worth it. Because let's say I get pulled over. Then I miss Dana.
Why would you get pulled over?
If I was speeding, Stan, it's against the law to speed.
Is it? Even if you're the Menace?
Stan, you're being stupid now.
Even if you got the Rich Schaefer connection?
That doesn't mean anything, Stan.
Why, you don't have a PBA card?
Listen, you can't just be... Rich Schaefer is a good man, but I wouldn't say his card is invincible.
Long Island, it might be.
Stan, I don't know. You gotta play his card down. You can't.
You gotta have faith in him.
Bad luck. It's a bad look, Stan. Saying, hey, I got the Rich Schaefer card. I can do whatever I want. You just.
What's a bad look? You're the one who just said you're gonna be speeding and get pulled over.
I said and then I said I can't do that because it's against the law.
Oh, what? You can't speed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saying if I did, I could be home at 3:30 if I needed it to be.
So, yeah, like we were talking about with Craig Jones, something else I want to do. Something else I want to do is try to set up that gaming. Like,
yeah, I'm working. I had this shit working. I don't know. Fucking my OBS is retarded. But all right, bro. I gotta go eat something.
All right. Well, here I got Sam coming on now. Can we do 10 minutes with Sam?
Go ahead, knock it out.
What are you gonna eat?
I don't know. I gotta figure. That's what I'm saying. I gotta figure it out. It's not like it's already ready to go, Stan. I gotta cook it.
Oof, you took a real turn to negative town here on me.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
What do you? Oh, and you're on your computer too, so it's not like you can take it with you.
Like that.
What if I transfer you onto your phone? Does that sound insane?
Yeah.
What if we? I'm saying, what if we transfer?
Just do 10 minutes. Let's go.
Oof.
Jeez, I can't focus for longer than an hour and a half. Now we're coming up on 2 hours.
Are we?
Yeah. You know that, Stan. Don't play dumb.
No, we started a little bit after 6.
Yeah, so we're coming up on 2 hours. So at 8:06, we'll be at 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll be wrapped up by then, hopefully. We'll get a few minutes with Sam.
I'm leaving at 8:06.
That's why I'm saying, why don't we transfer you to your phone? Show us a little cooking with the Menace. No?
No, it's like I use my phone to probably order food. Oh, fuck, they're probably where I wanted to get food. Probably isn't even open now.
Ooh, they're definitely not open. Where were you going to get food from?
Greek place.
Why don't you call them right now?
Because I don't think they're open now because it's past 6.
They're not open till 8?
Probably not. They're usually closed at 9 before quarantine.
Which Greek place you getting?
You know the spot on Montauk.
Cosmos?
Yeah.
Did you ever try that other place?
No.
They might be open.
Listen, Kuzmos they're Menace fans over there. I still order more autograph, which I still need to get them, but they have my loyalty, you know.
Kuzmos are Menace fans?
Yeah, the cook in the back.
That don't.
Like, did you fight at the Nassau Coliseum last weekend? I was like, yeah. He's like, I knew it was you. I'm like, yeah, it's not a big deal.
Oh, so he like knew you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like was there.
You know who else was there? Stan the Man was.
Yeah, probably hammered drunk.
I was wasted. Sam.
Hello, guys.
How are you?
Hey, I'm so sorry I'm late. I set it up. Yeah, Tuesday at 4:30. I'll make it happen. Today's Tuesday at 4:30. So, I'm sorry about that.
All good. That's what happens when you have kids, I guess, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So what are you, getting some rounds in?
Yeah, just getting my work in at a non-disclosed location filled with people that I live with, let's say.
She didn't do it, though.
Yeah, there's nobody even there. I just hear a little bit of echo from your mic.
Yes, there's a radio on somewhere in the background.
So yeah, if you go long ways with the phone, we'll get your whole view. There you go.
Oh, I got that.
There we go.
That rash guard is amazing.
It is, right? Oh, they love it. With the handstand to the face.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's Tom Galicchio's rash guard. He's selling them somewhere if anyone wants to buy one.
Stan, you should get one.
Yeah, I would definitely get
You
that.
look like a fucking stuffed sausage in that thing, Stan.
And maybe once I put that on, though, it might motivate me to start working out again.
Once you put that thing on, you probably won't be able to get it off.
Ooh, this is true.
That's funny. Yeah, he did that slapwing tournament here in Southern California not too long ago. So he made the shirts for it.
So, Smiling Sam, welcome back to Menace and the Man. You're in the 3-Timers Club now.
Hey, I like it. Yeah.
Someone just messaged me, can Sam take out his mouth guard?
Oh. Sure, I can do that.
They wanted me to go John Anik on you.
Yeah, there we go. Much better.
So, Smiling Sam, you're going to be the first fight in the new quarantine world. Or the
new world. That bell rings. The economy is open. We're going to stay. I'm not just fighting Ryan Spann. I'm fighting depression. The depression.
I like that. So how's things been going? You've been able to get work in?
Yeah, I've been doing great. A lot of gyms around here have had some openings for me to come in and stop by, and I really just been working 2-3 times a day since November. So I'm feeling good.
When were you supposed to fight before this?
I was supposed to fight February. The 28th, the 21st. I was supposed to fight in March, either mid to late March. And then it got canceled. And then I was supposed to fight in Vegas a week later, and then that got canceled. Then I was supposed to fight at the Tachi Palace, and then that got canceled. Now I'm fighting in Jacksonville, Florida, against Ryan Spann.
Thank God for Florida, right?
Thank God for Florida. Who would have thought we'd say those words ever?
So how long has your camp been?
Let's see. I signed the contract to fight Khalil Roundtree December 15th.
Wow.
Yeah, I am so ready for this fight to be over.
And now what was the deal with Roundtree? Is he stuck in Thailand?
Yeah, that was he couldn't get out of Thailand. Or couldn't get into America. I'm not sure exactly, but they said he was no longer a viable option. So Ryan Spann was supposed to fight that guy that had a draw with Shogun, and that fight fell through because he couldn't get overseas. And so he and I just made the perfect pair.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Are you Menace is a little grumpy right now. He's hangry.
What are you talking about?
You just seem like you're quiet right now.
Well, what do you want me to say? The man's talking.
I just had to point out.
Stan.
What happened?
You're the one that has all the questions.
What is that? A tower of like pre-workout stuff behind you?
GFuel.
Mr.
Sponsored
Menace?
by GFuel, dude. Do you play video games?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love video games.
What are you
I try not to play them around my kids. Right now, I'm replaying Spider-Man.
Okay.
For the PS4.
Yeah.
That game's it's a good game to kill some time with. Before that, I just did Fallen Order, Star Wars Fallen Order.
Okay.
So
you like the adventure game?
What's that?
You like the single player adventure campaign games, right?
Yeah. Immerse me in the world of the video game. That's what I want. That or Super Smash Bros. I love Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, but that's on a different console.
That's on the Nintendo Switch.
So you got the Switch and the PS4.
And the Xbox One. I got them all.
You have the PC as well?
No, I'm not one of those guys.
That's where I beat you. I'm not. I just so happen to have it.
Oh, so he games.
I try.
No, I'm saying Sam games too. You and him both game. That you both have a couple systems.
Yeah, but we play different games.
What are you, an esports game? Esports guy? Destiny 2? World of Warcraft. You're a WoW guy, aren't you?
Oh, I don't. I have a PC. I don't play on it though.
Oh, okay.
It's capable of playing games on it, but I'm like, I don't know. I need this in my hand.
That's me. That's me too.
You know,
I do more than anything else. Board games. Love board games.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Risk, Settlers of Catan. Oh, guys next to me just got really, really loud. I mean, the radio next to me just got really loud. Yeah, Settlers of Catan, Risk, all those games. I just love them.
Yeah, but to answer your question, sponsored by GFuel. They hooked up my whole game streaming shit. They sponsored me when I was fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good product.
Yeah, I mean it's got multivitamins in it, caffeine. It's not like it doesn't have anything give you like the pump or anything like that.
It's the caffeine I want. It's the caffeine because I hate coffee, but I drink so much of it. Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. It's like a substitute for coffee.
Yeah, that's perfect. That would be perfect for me.
Ooh, well, even that. It's a tough time with the quarantine and mail and whatnot, but they actually have like a coffee flavored GFuel. No, it's actually people are drinking it like they pour that, some milk, shake it up, and it's like a substitute for coffee.
Yeah, I don't like coffee though. Keep me away from that. I'm the guy that gets the girliest drink at Starbucks when I go. I mean, it's covered in sugar and chocolate and caramel and whipped cream. You got the cherry on top.
What is it about Starbucks whipped cream? It's just the best whipped cream I've ever had.
It is. There is something great about it.
I don't get it.
Yeah. McDonald's
that
got a
fucking silver can that doesn't have any labels on it that you fucking give it to me.
Give it to me. Inject it into my veins.
And I hate when they're weak with it. Like, dude, fill it up. I want whipped cream coming out. It's like, listen, it's not gonna go to waste. I'm not gonna drop any of it. I'm a goddamn ninja. I'm getting all that whipped cream down the hatch. Get wild with it. And don't be cheap. It's not you're not losing any money on it, you know? That's what I hate about Chipotle sometimes. Like, come on. A little more chicken than that. Like,
you know what you got to do, Chipotle? You got to ask them to split everything 50-50. So half white rice, half brown rice, half black.
Yes. Dude, so the other day I went there and I was like, yeah, let me get steak and something else. And it was almost like I got a double serving. I said, I want to split. You want to split? I'm like, yeah, sure. I got a lot of meat on there, dude. Yeah. And then also another trick, if you're going to get double meat, don't tell them double meat until they already put the first serving on there.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good point. I should get Chipotle tonight. That sounds great.
Oh, wow. Maybe that's what I should.
Oh, Chipotle might be closed here. I just saw that process in Menace's head. And it was like, damn.
Starving.
Find me a place open, Menace, and I'll bring you dinner. Yes?
Right.
No?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Sam. We don't want to keep you long. We just wanted to check in with you, see how things were going.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Sorry I was late getting on. I lost track of my days.
No worries at all.
We don't go by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday anymore. It's like day 36 of quarantine, day 37.
Is there any pros for you of training through the quarantine?
Yes. My training has been as good as it has ever been. And now I don't have to teach any of my kids' classes that I usually teach. Oh. So I've had so much more free time to, relax and not work out. It's been great.
Yeah. Like when I was competing, if I was doing private lessons or teaching classes, like a week, 2 weeks after my fight, I'm like, yo, not doing them. Seriously.
Yeah. The private lessons take a bunch. I got one, and I've just been working with him for like 3 years. So he's part of my schedule now. Yeah. But I don't do private lessons anymore. I get exhausted doing them, and I got to work out again. Man. I'll have like my kids' classes, and it helps with my weight loss because I'm just walking around for an hour. It takes 40,000 steps in an hour kind of thing. But it's nice. I've never had a camp where I haven't had to teach the kids' classes, and it's been really nice not teaching them.
Okay, I like that. So you had a good training camp. That's like the question for a lot of people.
I've had like 3 good training camps in this one training camp. Yeah.
All right, so after you get this win, we'll get you back on the show. We'll make sure that we get the right quarantine day, and it'll be. I'll hit you up with like, you want to come on quarantine day 64 or whatever it is.
That's how it works. That'd be perfect.
All right. I hope the family's doing good.
Oh, they're doing very well. Hope you guys, your families are doing well too.
All right. Stay safe out there, Sam. Good fight next week.
Hey, thank you, my man.
Luck, man.
Hey, we'll see you after the fight.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
There you go. That wasn't much, was it? So what are you going to get to eat?
Punch you in the fucking face?
I'll let you body shot me, too, if you want.
Listen, Stan.
You seem like you got some pent-up aggression.
Well, I went to Cosmos, and it's got like their website is like a goddamn like. I just want to see if they're fucking open. What? I gotta go Google first.
Why can't you just call them?
All right, let's give them a call.
Yeah, it says closing soon, so maybe they're open. Did you call him?
Call him right now, Stan.
All right, because I was going to call him.
Since you're picking it up, are you going to get anything?
Yep, get me a gyro.
All right, Gyro.
Cosmo.
How you doing? Are you guys still open for pickup?
No, sorry. We stopped taking orders at 8.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
I told you to call him 7 minutes ago.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
How the fuck am I supposed to call them when I'm on a goddamn interview with somebody, Stan?
I said call them before we talked to Sam.
No, you were trying to buy time.
No, I wasn't. I said call
Yeah,
them.
you were. Are they? Fuck.
All right. How about Pete? You want me to try Pita Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well shut down the. We're being ignorant now.
Are we? No, people probably like this, watching us order food.
They don't want to know what we're trying to order and like the process. Are you kidding me?
Maybe they do.
No, maybe they don't.
All right. Hit him with your send off.
Well, see you later.